The 007 saga is often most viewed as the British intelligence spy dealing with dangerous groups or beautiful women. And in this movie, it's just that. And after a dangerous mission in Mexico, 007 finds a rather interesting clue about a secret undercover sinister organization. After doing some digging, he infiltrates into one of their meetings, and he finds that he was closer to his enemy than he thought. Trust is scarce, as 007's organization has been compromised, forcing him to team up with the daughter of an old opponent to bring the enemy down. Throughout this entire movie, we see a heavy use with lighting techniques and specifically a lot of backlighting and low-key lighting. And in this video, we will analyze when and where these techniques are used and also try to understand why they're being used. I would really love to emphasize this scene specifically, as it's where we really see these techniques shine. And coming up first, we have backlighting. So what is backlighting? Backlighting is when light is shined from either behind the subject or in front, depending on your point of view. And this creates a silhouette that is often used in movies to portray villains as threatening or heroes as noble. This heavy shadow causes the viewer to feel a heavy input of drama and mystery. Right here is where we just saw it. And yeah, that's backlighting. Now I'm going to be using the scene again, which I probably should have done anatomy of the scene and not movie analysis. But we see the use of a low-key lighting as well towards the end of this scene, right about here. Yes, you can tell his face is getting some light from the right side and barely any from the left side. And this technique is used for drama or moral confusion and mystery. And like I said before, it's when you illuminate one side and leave shadow on the other side. Now that we looked at a lot of techniques using lots of shadows and contrast, let's look at something brighter. So in this scene right here, you see a lot of frontal lighting and also a little bit of ambient lighting, but let's focus on the frontal lighting. Frontal lighting is when it's self-explanatory, when the light is coming directly, almost like imagine the light had a point of view into the subject's eyes. So it really doesn't give any contrast, any definition to the face, and it causes it to be a little unflattering and harsh and bland. And the reason that is because usually humans, we tend to want to see that contrast because we're used to the sun being at an angle or a street light, something like that, that gives those definitions because it's at an angle. And that's exactly why they used it in this scene. It's because they wanted to show that something wasn't right, something was odd, something was a little bit off, and it was a great use of it, and I was feeling that when I saw the movie. Now, personally, I love this movie. If I was to rate it out of 5 stars, I would give it maybe a 4 or 4.5. And it's just great. I love seeing the action. I love what they did with the plot, but most importantly for this video, I love what they did with the lighting. It really, what made the movie great and dramatic and intense was the lighting. And I can kind of, obviously not the plot and the rest, but the lighting, I kind of see it in that short film, Nzinga. We see a lot of backlighting and low-key lighting used for the same reasons, for that dramatic effect or threatening or noble. And yeah, I personally think this movie was awesome. I think the short film really, they used the techniques in very, very similar ways. And yeah, sorry, this was a little bit of a long video. I got a little excited.